what else is involved in putting an agent together from a technical perspective?
Yeah, so the slide that I see used extremely regularly to describe this is your classic software iceberg slide, which is the promise of the agent is the kind of tip of the iceberg, right? It's this agent is going to go and do these things for you, and it has all these capabilities, and everything's going to be fantastic. But what's hidden underneath is actually a pretty comprehensive, and really, if you look at it, a kind of full software application that requires ongoing maintenance, heavy security consideration, and all of the things that you require out of any other platform. You should also have the same expectation to need from an agent. So to stand up a sort of enterprise grade agent today, you need the capability to access data, which is often in the form of a vector or using some other third-party solution. You need some way of kind of doing the embeddings and connecting the tools that the agent has capability to the LLM. So you're either building that yourself, or you're using a third-party system to go and do that. But really, once you kind of get beyond the descriptions of what the agent is going to do or what it has access to, you then need to be able to give the agent guardrails. So here is where you're determining, hey, here is the scope for what you as an agent are able to do, or how we would like you to handle these responses. And some of that scope may include things like static values to ensure that it can't be hallucinated to, or you can't sort of trick the agent into thinking that you're somebody that you're not. That's sort of the entry level stuff. As you get beyond that, then starting to think about, well, what happens with the data that gets pushed into this agent? How do I go and access and see what were all the prompts that people made when they were interacting with the agent? And then from there, what did the agent actually do? Like, how do I go and look at the log output to determine the action that an agent took? Because if an agent took an incorrect action, how do you know why it did it? How do you know what it did? How do you kind of track that sort of through your funnel? And as you think about kind of building up an agent, these are all the components that you'd think about with your traditional software application. How do we handle logging? How do we do testing? How do we put in capabilities to manage different scenarios? How do we think about how this application is going to evolve over time? It really mirrors the same consideration in the same way. These aren't a sort of one and done type system.